Magnus Carlsen comes up with a new form of disrespect to show that he's the goat of chess and to prove that he can basically do anything and still win at a chess game. This game has been played in Title Tuesday in the 2nd of February of 2025. It's a late Title Tuesday and it's the first round against a candidate master. This candidate master starts this game with the king's pawn move pawn to e4, and Magnus Carlsen plays knight to a6, and this is a bad move right from the beginning. And basically Magnus Carlsen by this move says that I can do anything against you. d4 and now c6. Maybe he wants to bring the knight back to c7. He wants to centralize the knight, and after knight f3, d5, and this is clearly not a good way to play. C takes d5, and probably after c takes d5 he wants to play bishop b5 check or bishop takes a6, but Magnus plays queen takes d5, and after knight c3 queen a5, basically just wasting tempos, and white plays bishop to d2, knight f6, and it's a strange kind of Scandinavian with a knight on a6. I mean, with the knight on b8, for example, with bishop on f5, this is a very normal position. Bishop to c4. Okay, there are some threats. Knight to d5 and knight to e5, for example. I don't know, against bishop g5, there are some knight e5s, but there's queen takes e5 check. Okay, I'm not sure. No, knight e5 doesn't work. I'm just saying bullshit. But okay, Magnus just comes back with queen d8. He just wants to play absurd moves, and after queen d8 his opponent plays knight d5, just basically attacking this square, and after e6 bishop takes a6, b takes a6, and here if white would have played queen to f3, then this was a very dangerous position, and then long castle. But white decides to play knight takes c6, a hasty decision. Maybe here, I don't know, queen, I told you queen f3 actually, but knight takes c6, queen to b6, and here the position is Magnus is bouncing back. The knight has to move, and now queen takes d4, he wins back, and he wins back a very important pawn, a central pawn, and now this bishop is open. Before knight takes c6, this bishop was stupid, but now knight takes c6, queen b6. I mean, this kind of play by Magnus puts a lot of pressure on their opponents. When you play this kind of disrespect in the opening, then your opponent is under a lot of psychological pressure. And here after queen takes d4, there is knight to f3, queen backs to b6, goes back, and now bishop coming to b7. Black has two bishops, castle bishop b7. Bishop b3, just queen comes back to c7, and now bishop to d6. Look at these bishops, look at these monsters that black has, and he has a very strong attack on the king side. h3 and short castle, rook d1 and rook f d8, and black is better. I'm not sure how he managed to do so, but he's better. Now bishop goes to b4, and here it comes. Wait a second. After bishop to b4, it's a very interesting move. I mean, probably bishop b7 is on many players' radar, but bishop b4, and to allow white to take on f6 and to double these pawns needs a lot of understanding. It needs this understanding that there is nothing bad happening. Queen f4 is coming, this king is safe. I mean, he's great. Knight d4, and now queen goes to f4. And black has everything under control. Knight to g3 and bishop back to c5. Queen takes g3, be aware. White plays king to h2, but then king f8 by Carlsen was very interesting. h5 is basically the first engine line, but king f8 is the second engine line. It's still a very good move. Rook d3 and rook takes d3, queen takes d3, and now h5. This move is probably not the best here. Bishop b6 with strange reasons to play rook d8 is better, but h5 by Carlsen and queen to h7. Maybe king h1 was better, but queen h7, king to e7. This is a blitz game, guys, so we are not expecting the best kind of moves. Queen takes h5 and bishop b6. Black has pressure. This is what matters in this position, and as long as he has the pressure, he's better. Queen g4, he's under pressure and he wants to exchange queens, so Carlsen says, okay, let's take queen takes g4, and now rook to g8, attacking this pawn. And it's very hard to defend this pawn. And in this position, white played rook e1 with the idea of playing knight f5, but king h3 was better. King h3 was better. It's a very, very odd move, but was better. Rook e1, but just then bishop takes f2. What are you doing? Rook e2, and this bishop comes back. Knight f5, king f8, and now knight has to move. And the problem is that white probably was calculated everything based on this knight d6, but this is just simply wrong. Bishop to c7, rook d2, and king to e7, and now this knight is hanging, and this game is over. There is nothing white can do against it, and he plays g5, bishop takes d6, and game over. Carlsen won this game by e4, knight a6. This game has been played at the time that there is a conflict between FIDE and Carlsen about chess 960 or freestyle chess, and basically Carlsen is playing freestyle with knight a6, c6, d5, and he is giving away the center, everything, but then he plays a strange kind of Caro-Kann, and then he goes transform this position into some kind of Scandinavian, and after that he's just able to win this game in a very, very classical style, in a classical chess style, just by developing everything, even allowing bishop takes f6 and two bishop kind of attacks, and at the end he uses the power of his two bishops in the endgame, and as always his opponent make blunders and Carlsen managed to win the games. I hope you enjoyed this content, not context. And it's been a while that I haven't been recording videos in English, so apologies for some kind of mispronunciations or using the incorrect words, but I hope you get the point, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If this is the case, please like the video, share it with your friends, and write down your comments to help me to create more of these kind of videos. Enjoy chess and life.